Hi, welcome to the demo of hello. Welcome to the demo of FedEx tracking on Salesforce orders. As per this requirement, we have to create a service to track some FedEx tracking number. I will come to the solution one by one and I will show what I did. So if I go to the fields as per the requirement, we have to create three new fields on order item, which is called order product. So I have created these three fields, and this delivered will be checked automatically when it will run and find the status equal to delivered. Now the tracking information and tracking number, this tracking number should be unique. And now I will go to that order I have created. So this is the sample order I have created, and all these order item I have put it some tracking number. So you can see from the early run it is happening like I deleted all the tracking information from this, and this is the tracking number. So some are good and some are bad. So on this number, so as per the requirement, I have added a button here called track item on order. So when I click that, it's actually invoking that FedEx service, and once that order is completed, you can see these two item delivered, and delivered is coming, and then uh, and if I go to my profile, you will see the chatter post is also happening for this user. Is just happened. So for this tracking number is delivered, this tracking number is delivered, and this tracking number it's not there. So this is all about the functionality is required. So now I directly go to the code section, which is the backbone, because the functionality are pretty simple, but the code has lots of complexity. So first I will open the service class. This is the class generated from WSDL downloaded from FedEx. So if I go to the FedEx section, so this is for the tracking service. So I am using tracking number or dot tag for the service, and all the things are coming from a custom setting. So I will also provide this URL so that it can be done automatically. So it can have like failure, error, warning, note, and success. These all are the things coming here. So if I go to my code now, so I'm only assuming a success, and all others are failure. So if I go to the request class, this request class have these all the variable is coming from custom setting. So in that constructor I'm reading all the custom setting and putting it there. And now this is the main class which is invoking the service, which is taking a list of order, because it can be done intentionally. I put it as a list of orders so that like in future if anything need to be implemented as a list of order rather than a single order, so it can be also done like say for a set controller or something like that. So I intentionally put as a list. When it's getting invoked from the order detail page, it's a list size is 1, and when it is getting invoked from a scheduler, it's this size is 0. So here I'm preparing all the inputs, and these all the details are coming from custom setting. So now this it's when it is invoked from scheduler, there is no filter on order ID, but when it is coming from with an order ID predefined, there is its order ID. So I am here creating a list of order IDs here, and then doing that SQL. So once all order IDs are not null, then I'm coming here and Here I am creating a map like with the tracking number to all orders. Like if multiple order having same tracking number, so it will it that only that same tracking number will be used for all orders. So there is removing the duplication of the tracking number, and this list will be used during update, so that none of the order is left during updation. So here I'm checking like if it is Salesforce has limit of 10 of parts transaction, so I'm checking like it is not exhausted, and FedEx has a limit of 30. If you see the documentation here, it has a limit of 30 per track item. So in that case I set it as 30, which is also coming from custom setting. In case of any future change of any scenario, that can be easily changed without changing the code. So here is the case like where my tracking size is reaching to FedEx limit, and I have also limit to call any web service. So I'm just calling the web service, and I am instantiating these things, service port and everything, and I am calling that service again, and the other portion is not getting executed. So that other portion is not getting executed because it is not required anymore. It will go from top and start working from next order item, which is like if it is 31, then 30 will be done here, and from the next one will be invoked via this class, this portion. So here this is the method I am invoking, and this is doing that any parsing and database updation in case of, as per the new requirement in discussion forum. In case of any exception, I am creating a record in that exception log, and this return null when I reaching the limit, I am also returning null here. So now coming to the parsing the response, I am checking the topmost response. If it is success, then I am doing all the operations and everything, and then I am tracking like for each tracking number. This will give me like each tracking number, and then success. Then it's checking this boolean is like deciding that whether the tracking number is delivered or not. So, and this is the notification. It is hold that error and success thing. In case of error, I am putting everything in that package, and then if it is status is delivered, then I am putting is a delivered map. So once all the processing is done, I am coming to that updated list, where that list order item to be updated, and I'm iterating through each tracking number, and I'm checking that what the tracking number belong to delivered package or other, and based on that I am setting those values like delivered, and in every cases I'm updating the tracking information. So when it is if the status is like size is greater than 0, I am updating, and then I am doing a chatter post here using connect API, and this is the string sending. So this is all about code, and here I have shown the functionality. Now I will go to the custom setting. So this is the custom setting I have created, and I am using it. So all the values like say this FedEx key, password, and everything, the FedEx account number, mortgage ID, and this interval. This interval is also coming from here. So now I will go to the scheduler. So as we have to schedule in every 15 minutes, so I make it as a configurable one. So here from it is coming if you want to make it 10, or if you want to 30, so it can be no code change is required, but you have to abort the current job and you have to run it again. So what it is doing, it is scheduling from here. For the very first time, I'll be giving a code like this same code need to be executed from an anonymous window or the developer console, so that it will be getting it get scheduled to run after 15 minutes, and then let's say you can do it immediately, and from next time onwards it will keep on running on every 15 minutes, or like as per your custom setting configuration. So now if I copy this, so now if I go to Apex job, see, there is no Apex job is running, only Apex job is this about it. So if I go to developer console, debug, then execute anonymous window, paste. So I'll give him as 1. This is for the first time. It is taking a time. We'll come back later on that I will do the other code reviews. So this chatter util class I'm using to do a post, and this should be on version 31 because this method is not available after version 31. So this is actually this is the user ID and mention ID and the string to post, and it is doing the message segments, and then it's doing a post here. And coming to the test classes, so if I go, so you can see this has been successfully done, and this has been here. The main catch with that status thing is, if you see the name, I have to make it that unique name every time so that it don't have any conflict. Otherwise you will get like this is already scheduled. Like if you do like say for 1 minute or 5 minutes, you will see like this is already scheduled. So in that case it will fail. So that I make it unique name every time. And now coming to the test classes, this is the main test class where I have created some public methods to create data so that it can be reused from others, as well as I'm also using from this order extensive class, so for this testing class. So this is required for that overriding the detail button. So here I am using that this test method so that it will be reused anywhere. I given detailed description. I use stage of start and stage of stop with system.assert. So both positive and negative tested is executed. See, for the first time when order delivered is false, and next time I'm selecting and it's becoming true, and in negative case when it is the tracking number is not found, so it is still false. And if I go to the chatter util test, I have to do a see all data equal to true, otherwise I won't be able to view these connect APIs things. So once it is done, so I am checking that I am able to feed something, so it is coming as 0. So you can delete everything from the chatter feed and you can do the task and it will work. And as per the extra features, I have given say two extra feature from this thing, um, where you can configure it from here, as well as logging all the error. In case of any error, it will be going to a log, so in a separate object. So these are not a part of our main requirement here. It was discussed here, so I have given that functionality as well. Hope it will be treated as a extra feature. As well as if a part-time permits, I will create a report on that object, so that like in case of any failure, it will be, you will get a report like if it is anything is failing. And now if I go to Apex class, we'll say estimate code coverage. I have an 86% of coverage. If I do a run or test it now, you can see there is no failure. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video.